first start with 5G. Our analysts were expecting you to roll out 5G in about 30 cities by year end. Are you on track to make that?
Yeah, as we said when we had the earnings call in the second quarter, for the mobility case, we have a plan to have 30 cities by year end. We have 13 right now, so we're adding every week. We added New York last week. But we're not only doing that, we also have done 13 NFL stadiums, and then NBA season haven't even started. We believe that our 5G, for the consumer point of view, should be in the most dense and populated areas where you have a lot of throughput and data, and that's where our 5G is just crushing it. So that's where we are focusing right now on our mobility build. But as you know, we also do 5G home, and in the fourth quarter we're going to launch our 5G mobile edge compute, which is an enterprise service with all new capabilities of 5G.
You know, AT&T has been leading the charge a little bit in terms of nationwide rollout. When can we expect from Verizon nationwide rollout of 5G?
I think that what we are preparing right now is that we have the best 4G network in the market. We will continue to see that our customers get the best experience on the technology we have. We are giving them the first experience of 5G. We were first with the 5G home. We were first with the 5G with the smartphone. And at the same time, we keep our 4G network at state of the art. So we will continue to do that. And when we see that the market is ready, and we will have a national coverage as well. But usually we speak less and we execute when we have it, and then we talk. So that's our strategy.
Hans, do you need more spectrum for 5G? Have you talked about an auction for some of those mid-bands that potentially could happen from the FCC?
First of all, there is an ongoing auction, so I'm a little bit sensitive what I can say about spectrum in general. But I've said it before, we have all the assets to launch a very competitive 5G experience, if that's coverage or millimeter wave for consumers, for large enterprises, mobile edge compute. We have all those assets.
We've talked about 5G that arguably holds a little bit more of an advantage for the business customer than the consumer. How can you capitalize on the business customer?
I think that all will benefit from it, but to be honest, design from the beginning was very much to make the world cordless for enterprise and society. So the 5G mobile edge compute that we're going to launch the first center at the end of this year, that's really where you can, as an enterprise, start innovating, doing a factory wireless for all your robots, for example, or putting up a 5G campus network or a private 5G network, all with a throughput, speed, and latency that is unparalleled what you have today, and suddenly you can innovate around that. So of course, myself, I've met many of the Fortune 100 enterprises in this country the last 6 months to talk to them, showing the platform we're going to create and how they can innovate to it. Because this is a partnership with us, with the customer, and probably in some cases some software developers as well that have softwares that is needed for it.
You know, it's interesting. I've been speaking with some analysts who've tried 5G in South Korea and other places, and some of them say it doesn't quite live up to the hype. How is the transition from 3G to 4G compared to 4G to 5G? Does 5G live up to all the hype?
I think that there is a huge difference. And 3G to 4G was, of course, an improvement of throughput and speed, which was visible. But to be honest, the move from 4G to 5G is even greater. It's the speed is so much faster, the throughput is so much more, and the latency. So, of course, it's all about an ecosystem that you sort of get devices out. And sometimes we talk a lot about consumers, and right now, basically, we have 4 phones already right now, smartphones out in the market. All of them are 5G enabled. So we see that whole ecosystem coming from consumers. But then, as you said yourself, but then you have an enterprise business, and we also have a 5G home business where we actually are doing the last mile with 5G instead of fiber, which is a total different way of thinking about the business model for fixed wireless access, bringing broadband to your home. So it's very different, the 5G, because you can have several business cases on the same infrastructure, because it's the same network. It's the same infrastructure you're building on. It's not a separate network for all these business cases I'm talking about. It's the same.
I want to talk about the fundamentals of your business. When can we expect 5G revenue to offset the decline in the wireline business?
I think that we have been very clear when we had our capital market days in February that when it comes to the mobility, we will have an impact of 5G in 2021. When it comes to 5G home, the same, 2021. And when it comes to 5G mobile edge compute, 2022. So we have been very clear with that. And remember, we're a large company. 4G will not go away. It's an extremely important sort of technology, and our customers on 4G. And remember, that's not strange that you will have 4G customers for a long, long time. So you need to continue to have the best 4G network as well.
And have you modeled out any potential competition, subscriber losses, if that T-Mobile Sprint deal does go through?
I think that we all need to work with our own assets, of course. Then it's happening a lot in the marketplace, which you, of course, are listening and thinking about. I think that whatever is happening, we have our strategy and we're going to execute on our strategy. We believe in our network, we believe in our 5G platform and use cases we have, and that's what we're going to execute on. Then, of course, as we see more competition and more discussion around 5G, that just proves the case, how important 5G is going to be for the country, for the enterprises, and for the telecom industry.
You've done a restructuring recently. Do you feel like you're right-sized?
I think that, I'm not sure if you're referring to our voluntary program that we had in November 1 year ago, which ultimately was 10,400 employees leaving us over 6 months. That is finished right now. So I think we have done some process changes in the company. We have also started outsourcing some more IT that we haven't done before, and ultimately 17,000 employees has left the company in 12 months. So we continue, of course, to be efficient, but that's part of what we do every day. But not only that, we're also looking for the new growth opportunities. So it's how you run a company.
Right.